to the system set up by Saul, first king of Israel, here's what happened. David therefore departed from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brothers and all his fathers heard it, they went down to him there, and everyone who was in distress, everyone that was in debt, everyone who was discontent, gathered to him. So he became captain over them, and there was there about 400 men. Now, let me stop and say, distress, debt, and discontent. Ladies and gentlemen, that is where I believe we are in our nation. We're totally in debt with debts we can't pay back. People are totally discontent, and they are distressed or stressed out with everything they're seeing. Why? Because I'll go back to what God said about King Saul. God wanted to be their king. God wanted to give the glory. They began to give glory to a man, look to a system, and the system failed them. The system did not work for them. It worked against them, and then they had that. Of course, God brought David along at that time to help them. Now, I want to show you something. This is a Bible that was given. It's a New Testament Protestant version that was presented to the Army of the United States. And inside of this, I want to read this right here. Inside of this it says, to members of the Army, as Commander-in-Chief, I take pleasure in commending the reading of the Bible to all who serve in the armed forces of the United States. Throughout the centuries, men of many faiths and diverse origins have found in the sacred book words of wisdom, counsel, and inspiration. It is a fountain of strength, and now, as always, an aid in attaining the highest aspirations of the human soul. Very sincerely, March 6, 1941, Franklin Roosevelt. I'm going to ask you a question. With society the way it has gone, with an organization, and they're actually a four-letter word, I'll let you figure it out, suing every time you even talk about Jesus, would a leader of our nation now print a Bible, give it to the troops with a message encouraging them to read it? The answer is no. Why? Because we have fallen into unbelief, and we've turned our heart and mind away from God. And I have got pages of notes here that I was going to get into, and I'm going to save them for next week's program. But I'm going to take you next week right here. I'm going to take you and show you how the book of Exodus is being fulfilled right now in the United States with a system that is being developed. Now listen, you don't want to miss these programs. These are special prophetic alerts, and I'm going to have to be obedient. I realize the kind of mail, the letter I'm going to get, I really don't care. I'm 50. When you get to be 50, you don't care anymore. You understand? You just want to obey God, and that's the end of it. I have an offer that I've got to show you and tell you about. It's brand new, totally rewritten, totally revised book, and you're going to get it on the Manifest program today.
This generation is witnessing many biblical apocalyptic prophecies merging for the first time, indicating that we are living in the time of the end. The book of Revelation predicts a seventh empire, a global coalition of nations that will unite. But eventually the global government will be seized by one man using oil, economic control, and weapons of mass destruction. This dangerous dictator, called the Antichrist, will form an eighth and final prophetic kingdom that will control all buying, selling, food rationing, and will be supported by a 10-nation coalition. In his new and completely revised prophetic book, Unleashing the Beast, Perry Stone separates truth from tradition and fact from fiction as he documents the rise of a future Islamic empire controlled by one man. Perry examines many Christian and Islamic prophecies, including how the four horsemen in Revelation reveal Islamic overtones of a battle with a man the Muslims identify as the Mahdi. Discover apocalyptic symbolism in Daniel, including the 10 toes, 2 feet, and the little horn with a dangerous mouth. Perry re-examines 666 and the mark of the beast to give you fresh insight into the meaning of these 3 original Greek letters, and reveals the well-known Islamic hadith that predicted the Islamic sun would rise in the West, which also includes the United States. Has that time now come? This book contains information Perry will not share on the Manifest telecast. This book is part of package offer SJ76. Also included in this offer is Perry's new audio CD, America 2010, Pharaoh Rising, Selective Judgment and the Sealing of the Remnant. Discover the shocking parallels of the biblical Exodus and what will happen in America in the future. This is a word for the church and every Christian in America. The revised, updated edition of the book Unleashing the Beast and the new audio CD America 2010, Pharaoh Rising, Selective Judgment and the Sealing of the Remnant are now available to you for a gift of $25 or more by calling 1-888-21-BREAD. That's 1-888-212-7323. Or order online at www.perrystone.org. You may also mail payment to Perry Stone, Post Office Box 3595, Cleveland, Tennessee 37320. When ordering, ask for offer SJ76 and include $25 or more. Again, request offer SJ76. Remember, your support helps keep Manifest on the air. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
It is always a great joy to have you join me on the Manifest telecast. Let me say something very briefly about the brand new offer. The book Unleashing the Beast is not a reprint of an old book. I totally rewrote this entire book from beginning to end, adding several new chapters and a lot of new information. It is the most right now prophetic book that we have available. And I don't want to say too much about this other than the secular stores that were going to carry this book decided not to do it. Therefore, it's available through our ministry right now. And I want to make one statement. You that are watching me, if you love truth, if you love to hear the truth, and if you love to be taught the truth and love insight that is not commonly reported, you will enjoy reading this book and glean from it. But if you're one of those that easily gets offended, may I suggest don't read this book. Don't get it and don't read it. I mean that sincerely. Because I think the depth of it, of what is here and what has been placed in this book, especially chapter 11, will stir some people up. And they won't understand it. They won't understand the reasoning behind it and the insight there. And also America in 2010, the Pharaoh Rising, the Exodus Code reveals the future of America and the church. Most of you know that our ministry teaches patterns of what's to come based on Ecclesiastes 1, 9, and 10, and that's what we do here. And I think you're going to be greatly informed about the times in which we live. Now let me say something to you. St. Louis is coming up, and this is our main summer conference in the Midwest. The hotels are filling up. We are hearing from people from all around the St. Louis, Missouri area, all around Missouri, in Missouri, outside of Missouri, that are coming to the meeting. If you want to know the titles of the messages, go to perrystone.org, go up to Ministry Events, click on there, and then click on to Conferences, and we have a list of where you can stay and the information for hotels, etc. Then in the month of July, don't forget Louisville. Last year, Louisville was packed to capacity. I know this year it's going to be the same. Once again, toward the middle of June, I will be posting on the internet the messages at Louisville. Then the great Huntington Camp Meeting Prophetic Conference in Huntington, West Virginia at Christ Temple. Oh, what a time we have up there. That's coming in the month of August. The information, again, is on the website. Now, last year in all these conferences, we had total, complete, packed out audience of people who were coming, people from all over the place. The buildings were filled. And we believe it's going to be the same way this year. And I believe that the times in which we're living in, God's people want to keep up with what's happening and what is taking place, and these are the best ways of doing it. Now let me also say something to you, that you can send in your request through our website. You can log on and take our special poll that we have every 30 days. You can read the articles by my wife, the prophecy updates, and the special messages that we have. And of course, if you're a partner of our ministry and you didn't get to come to the Partners Conference, if you'll log on to the partner website, put the code in, we will tell you how to get the DVDs and CDs that are exclusively for partners only. And speaking of partners, we are needing hundreds of people, thousands of people who watch Manifest to continue to stand with us so that we can prepare to do some of the things in the future that God has put in our heart. So if the Holy Spirit has spoken to you and maybe you've never let us know that you appreciate the program, why not let us know now? Because I'm going to be honest with you, when you have to cover some of the things that we have to cover, you have to be obedient to the Lord, and it's not always easy to do. And it's always good to hear from some of you. I'm going to be 50 on June 23rd. I know I keep telling you that, but that's going to be a milestone for me. And thank God, just keep praying for me that I'll have the strength to keep doing what I've done for so many years. See you next week. God bless you.